Hey everyone, welcome to Sue Stamfield. This is Susan Campfield, and I'm here to share a fun tutorial with you tonight. Tonight we're going to make a beautiful card with a brand new die that is part of the coordination product release that Stampin' Up! Has come out with. And these are dies that coordinate with some existing sets. The one that we're going to use tonight is can be a standalone die actually, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm super excited to share this with you. Hold on, I'm just going to flip my camera around so you can see my my stamping desk here. So you're going to see my ceiling for just a moment. Hold on here. There we go. And I'm going to clip, whoops, let me just slide all this stuff out of my way. Thought I had this set, but not so much. There we go. So I think you can see there. Let me know if you can't. And I did want to point out that tonight is, I'm doing this Facebook Live video on my Facebook business page, but starting next week, I'll be doing them in the Sue Stamfield group that I just started. So I hope you join the group so that you don't miss anything. It's just a lot easier for you to get notifications when I do go live. So, and then I can share files and things through that. These PDF tutorials I can post in the group. So this is the card. That we're going to make tonight. We might change up the paper a little bit. I'm hoping I can get your input on that. But this die is so cool. Can you see this? It even cuts this beautiful, I don't know, kind of lacy edge that's cut into the paper. You can even pull that up a little bit if you want some extra detail on that. Cuts out these flowers. So this is a die where we're going to keep the sort of relief image. And then I added some little rhinestones on the flowers. And now this one says birthday wishes on it. I will tell you prior to that, it said Happy Valentine's Day. So you've got options, right? And this paper that I'm using is actually, I used on this one, is actually from the mini catalog, and it is with the Valentine collection. Although it is a, it's a pink and red stripe with white in there. It could work for anything. Something about red is a nice bright pop and fun for birthdays. So, but I think it would be fun if we changed up the papers, right? Because you could put a lot of different papers behind here. Now you're not going to want something super busy, right? Because if it's too busy, it's going to take away from these pretty die cut flowers here. But you can, so we're going to look for something a little more solid. So I'm actually going to pull in the little mini trimmer here, and I'm going to pull in the this sorted stack of Designer Series paper is something you can get with this little mini trimmer if you purchase a starter kit and become a demonstrator. And that's a deal that's going on right now during Celebration. So I thought it'd be fun to use one of the papers in this stack. Now all of these papers are available either in the Celebration catalog or in the regular catalog. So what we're looking for, and I actually have one here that I pre-die cut so we can kind of test it out. I would love your vote on this. So can you see out something like this? To me, that is too busy. These completely disappear and you just focus on that. So to me, that's too busy. There's always a second side. That to me is too subtle. Does that make sense? So you're looking for a pattern that's more of a solid. So again, beautiful floral, but to me it's too busy for this and I don't get the contrast I want. This one I think is a little too, that's nice actually, that's not too bad. I want a little more pop than that though, so I'm going to keep going. This one is nice, but it's pretty brown, and to me that just doesn't say flowers. So again, I'm going to keep going. Don't worry, there's some in here that are going to work great. And they don't have, so these are papers from the mini catalog and the Celebration catalog, but you don't have every design here. You just have kind of an assortment. So we did that one. Oh, let's look at this one. Okay, so this side's too busy. What about this side? Now that I actually like. So that's, you know, it's more of a solid color. It is flowers, but it's not so busy. These to me still pop out. So I would say this is one good possibility. So the poppies, get ready to vote. Give me your input here. So the poppies, this one I think too stripey, too busy. That's actually not too bad. This one would work, the solid pink, but that might be just a little, it's okay. I'm going to keep going. This one on the back of the balloons, that would be cute. Let's pull that one out as a possibility. And the plaids, I'm going to say no, not on this one. Those are great for masculine, but not on this one. Ooh, there's a fun one. Let's pull that one out too. So the back side of this has this kind of blues in it. All right, so comment. Let me know. What do you think we should go with? The poppies, the, let's say coral, or the blue? So pop your vote in there. And while you're voting, I'm going to pull in the die cutting machine here. And we're going to go ahead and cut out our flower. Got open ink pads here. Oh my gosh, that's just scary. All right, and bring my light over a little bit better. All right, so I've got my plates. You can see that this cutting pad has been well loved, right? But it still works good. It's not too curvy because I flip it every time, so we're going to use that. By the way, Stampin' Up! Does have cutting pads available now, so so if yours are getting, you know, beat up, let me know and we can get some ordered for you. All right. Sorry, I cut that one and I didn't have my paper. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And let's bring in our dies. So these dies are called Sending Flowers. And they are, they just came out on this coordination product release. They started on February 4th. They go through March 31st or while supplies last. Last year we had some coordination products and they sold out very, very fast. So if any of these products are on your wish list, don't wait. You'll be sad. Get them as soon as you can. So we're going to use the Sending Flower dies right here. And you can see with these, you can color them. You can do different colored flowers. It comes with the this big, and I mean big, this very big die right here. And it also comes with 2 banner ones. We're going to use this one right here. And then it comes with 2 different sets of flowers so that if you did want to put different colored flowers on there, you can cut both at the same time. So, someone's having trouble with the volume. Anyone else having trouble with the sound? Okay, so I've got those pulled out and I'm going to set those aside because I'm not using those today. And we're going to go ahead. I'm just going to set these aside until we decide which pattern we're using because that's going to depend what color I cut those from. And we're going to go ahead and cut this big die. So in my experience with this large, super detailed die, we want to get a good cut. So, oh, Karen, the sound is good for Karen. So Deb, maybe log out and log back in again and see if that takes care of it. Otherwise, you can always watch the replay. So I'm going to put it face down, but do you see how I've turned my paper so that it's the long way? I actually found that I got a better cut. Usually when I go to cut something, I kind of slap it in the middle and cut it. The problem with that is with your die cutting machine, it actually, the most pressure is on the outside parts of your roller. That's just physics. So you get the least pressure in the center. And yet that's where we most often tend to plop things, at least if you're like me. And so I'm seeing there's a little bit of paper right here in this die. And I want to poke that out because I don't want any paper in there. So what I found was that when I turned it sideways, that put this large, huge die off center so that it's down here on this end and it got more pressure. So I got a much better cut. Now we talked about this a lot on these videos. If you have a die that's super detailed and you're not getting a good cut, you can always turn it the other way so the cutting edge is up and then it's closer to the rollers and you get more pressure and usually a better cut. So let's go ahead and just try it the regular way though. So I'm going to do this facing down. And because this is so detailed, I'm going to send it through twice, but I'm going to make a little change. So I'm going to send it through this way, and this is going to clunk here, and it's going to move the camera, so I apologize. The camera's going to jiggle here. Sorry about that. Oh, it wasn't too bad. I'm going to take my whole sandwich here, and I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to put it right back in. So now I'm going to be getting more pressure on this end, so I'm just going to send it through a second time. Now again, because this die is so big, that part of it ends up in the middle. It just does. So again, this might be a good candidate for doing it with cutting edge up. Let's see how we did though. So I'm going to flip it over here, and I can tell that I got a good cut. Can you see how you can almost see the blade poking through there? There's no white. So that shows me that I have gotten a good cut here and we are good to go. So I'm going to scroll back here and see, what did we decide on? Is anyone keeping track? I'm seeing a lot of poppies, poppies, poppies. 4 blues, 4 poppies. Uh-oh. Okay, we got a color off here. I need a deciding vote. So we've got the same number of people for the where did I put them? I pulled them out. You guys gotta watch me, I tell ya. Okay, so Calypso Coral was a no-go. That one we know. We're gonna save that one for another project, and quite frankly, I'm probably gonna use those super cute balloons on this side, because how cute are those? So it comes down to poppies or the Pool Party in Bermuda Bay and kind of Coastal Cabana colors. So I need someone else to vote in. If you haven't voted in, vote either poppies or blue, and that will be our deciding factor here. While you're doing that, I'm going to, I don't want to remove this because I need it. So I am going to, first person that votes, you get it, you win. You help us decide. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my die brush. Now, somebody asked me, what is that tool that you're always using in your videos? So this is the Take Your Pick tool. And if you're familiar with, oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I asked my husband to borrow his Leatherman tool. So if you're familiar with like a Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman tool, one of those tools, ooh, it's gross, yuck. Men, they don't clean anything, do they? One of those multi-purpose tools that has all sorts of different attachments. That's what the Take Your Pick tool is, except for it's for stampers. So Paper Crafters has all the tools that a paper crafter needs. Now this is the die brush attachment. So when you get the regular Take Your Pick tool, it comes with a little putty end that picks up little pieces, and you can just cut off the putty to get fresh putty, and that does advance. And then the other ends, you can either do the piercer, or you can unlock it and flip it to the spatula, or it also comes with a stylus tool, large and small, that you can put in there. But if you order this extra attachment, I have 2 of them so that I can keep one with the putty and one with the die brush. Actually, I have more than 2, I have 3. Okay. True stories here. So when you order this die brush attachment, it comes with 2 of these foam pads because they tend to get chewed up after a while, and then you just throw it away and you've got a second one. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to roll on this to start getting these extra papers and bits out of there. Sound is good for most of you. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to get my little pokey tool. I don't want to rip anything here, so let's get these last ones out. I think I got it. So this whole piece I don't need. That's just extra. And we got one flower that's stuck. That's okay. We'll just push him back. So there we have the different flowers, and you are going to want to go back to your die and just make sure you get those centers out of the flowers. Most of them came out, but I see there's one right here and one little piece right there. You can rub wax paper on it to help this release better, but you want to make sure you get those little bits out before you cut it again, or it may not cut. So, all right, I'm going to put that one away. Did we get another vote? All right, I got 2 more votes for blue and 1 more vote for poppies. So I think the blue one's the winner. I'm shocked. I thought you guys would go for the poppies. So I was pretty close because about half of you do it. But we're going to do the blue. That'll be fun. That'll be really different than the red. So who knows? Maybe I'll make up the other one too, and I'll put that on my blog post so that we can see what that one would have looked like as well. So let's take this. Oh, no, I don't want to take this away. I need to do more cutting. So I'm going to go with a color that coordinates with that. And aha, found it. I'm going to go with Coastal Cabana, a little piece of Coastal Cabana. You know what? I think I'd rather do Bermuda Bay. Sorry. I think that'll have a little more pop. Don't you think? Yeah, I think they'll be a little more lively. So I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay. I'm going to take this long die right here, and I'm going to take this set of flowers, and I'm going to send those through. Jiggling, jiggling, jiggling. Sorry, I'm jiggling the camera. There we go. Let's bring it back here. Pop these guys out. Oh, flowers everywhere. So I need this. This is going to be for my words, kind of a border behind my words. And then I actually don't need the tulips. I'll save those for another project. I just want these 2 flowers right here. So pull those out. One big, one small. Those go on the inside of the card. All right. Let's just move this whole thing right out of the way. I'll clean that out later and put it away later. Okay, so we're going to bring in our little mini paper trimmer. Isn't it the cutest? It's like the baby Yoda of paper trimmers. Love it. And again, this is, demonstrators could pre-order this in December. And the only other way you can get this right now is getting the starter kit. So I'm going to slide this in at the 4-inch mark. And then I just put my finger down on this plastic piece and cut that. There's my little 2-inch extra piece. And then I'm just going to flip this around, line it up again with that 4-inch mark, hold down a little plastic piece that just keeps my paper from shifting. And now I've got a 4-inch by 4-inch piece to put behind my flowers. It's going to take this away. Now, if you don't have the mini trimmer, if you have a regular paper trimmer, that will work great. All right, so let's bring in our little flowers that we cut. That's going to be cute with the blue behind there, isn't it? Okay, and then this is where our greeting is going to go. So let's grab our packet here. I should have a card base and a little tiny piece of paper here, and that's to do the greeting. I did just cut this with my paper trimmer. Let's see if I can tell you what size that is, because I don't remember. It is, math. I'm sorry, 3/8 inch wide by 3 inches long. I like even increments, don't you? Okay, so we've got that. Let's bring this little scrap paper back in here because I can be a messy stamper. And we're just going to take our Bermuda Bay ink and we're going to do a greeting. We are going to make this one a birthday greeting, just like our red version here. And so we're going to use the Itty Bitty Birthdays for that. Make sure I don't lose my little flowers there. Better keep them right here, front and center. So Itty Bitty Birthdays, I've got the birthday wishes all mounted and ready here. I'm just going to grab the Bermuda Bay ink. And I'm opening that up. Oh, this is the scary part. Can I, a little pressure here on a video, looking through a phone. Can I line it up on this skinny piece? If I can't, paper has 2 sides, right? I can always flip it over. That's not too bad. I can live with that. Okay. Oh, I'm going to leave this open because I probably want an inside greeting. All right, so I'm going to grab my snail adhesive and put some on. Oh, helps if I open the cap, doesn't it? Put some on the back there. Glue dots. Whoa. Glue dots would be another great way to adhere this. Mount that in. What do you guys think? You think it'll look good in blue? I think it'll look good in blue. All right. Now I want to tell you there is a trick here to putting it together. So let's look at that. I'm going to go ahead and fold my card base and slide my inky stamp out of range here so it doesn't end up messing up my card. I'm going to go ahead by putting the inside greeting in now. The reason I'm doing that is if I mess it up, which, yes, I do that sometimes, I can flip my card around and I can cover it up strategically. Close enough. Not perfectly straight, but I'll be able to hide that with my flowers. So I'm just going to take my blue paper, and that's going to go right here on the card base. I'm just going to double check that it's, not sticking up, or, that it's in the right spot. So I'm going to go ahead and put some snail on the back of that. And then our trick is that we want to move it up just a little bit here. And before I push it down all the way, I'm just going to double check it. Great, that looks good. All right, so I don't want these flats. Flat's going to be boring to me. I want to pop this up and get some shadows and dimension going in there. So that's one of my favorite things, and that is dimensionals. So I've got both the regular and I've got the minis here, and I'm going to use both of them. So I'm going to use a shocking amount of dimensionals on this card because I don't want it to collapse in the middle. So I'm going to put a couple down here. I'm going to put a couple in the bottom corners and a couple on top. Are you shocked? Is that a lot of dimensionals? Okay, I'm going to throw one more on. Now it is really a lot of dimensionals. Can never have too many dimensionals. Now I'm also going to add some dimensionals in the center of these flowers, but for those I'm going to go with the minis. And I'm not going to stick every flower down. I'm just going to stick down the big ones that will hide those dimensionals well. So now I have to make sure I pull all the backs off. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to have that pokey thing help me. Pokey thing, that's not what it's called. Paper piercer, that's probably a better terminology, but it is a pokey thing. I'm going to do all the big ones first, and then the little ones. Are we all sticky? Oh, I missed one. I'm going to double check that they're all shiny, and then I know that I took out the papers. Okay, now I just need to get these guys off. There we go. One more. Now you might be wondering why I'm doing this, because I'm going to have sticky middles to my flowers. Don't worry, we're going to cover that up. We're going to fix that. So I'm just layering it on here, making sure I've got the same amount of space around. And I'm going to tack those flowers down. The other flowers are going to stay loose. They lay pretty flat. This one's wanting to pop up because it was the one that kind of got stuck in the die and bent down here. So if that's the case, you can go in with a little multi-purpose liquid glue and just put a little dab on the back and kind of just tack that down. So I'm going to cover up these sticky spots. Oh, wait, we need more dimensionals. Let's pop this up too. What the heck? Why not? All right. We can use large. We can use small. Doesn't matter on this one. With the small ones, you get like 700 and some, so I probably should be using those. But you get lots of edges on the big ones too, so. All right, so we're going to put that right at the top. And now we're going to add some bling here. So for our bling, with this one, on this one I use the red rhinestones. For this one, I'm going to use blue, of course. So I'm going to pull in, let's see. These are the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. They did carry over. They are still available to purchase. They were in the holiday catalog. And I'm just going to pull the blue ones off of here. And I'm just going to put those right in the middle. Look how sweet those are. Just adds that nice little bit of sparkle. It makes the card extra special. So let's look at that close up. All right, this flower is really driving me crazy, so let's see if we can tack that down. I might need to, oops, got a lot of glue just jumping at the bit to get out of there. All right, and I just want a little bit. There we go. And I'm actually just gonna let, okay, I'm gonna move this before I plop the card in it, right? I'm gonna let that dry for just a little bit, because if I squish it down now, it's going to probably ooze out. I got a little bit more than I wanted to, but if I let it dry for a little bit, it'll be tacky like a Post-it note. Or the other trick is you can take a little piece of paper like this and just scrape off the excess. We'll do that. There we go. I'm just going to tack that down. All right, so there we have the front of our card. And then we've got our inside here. Oh gosh, that is crooked. Okay, we're going to fix that with our little flowers that we cut. We're going to put those on the inside of the card. And so once I get the flowers in here, that crooked part's not going to show up as much because the flowers are going to kind of hide it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to stick those on with glue dots. And because these flowers have an open middle, that means they're going to have a sticky middle. And that's fine because we're going to cover that up. But we're actually going to cover that up with a sequin. Because rhinestones are going to be a little higher profile than I'm going to want on the inside of my card. Really should be using the piercer here. There we go. Got it. All right. And let me grab some rhinestones. No, I said not rhinestones. What did I say we were going to use? I said we were going to use... Hold on. I think these might be cute. So this is one of the celebration free items. And in fact, we also need a bow on the front of our card, don't we? I think this might work for that. Let's give it a try. So this is something you can get free with a $50 order. Both the sequins and the baker's twine there. And so let's, oh, you know what? I'm going to need this putty piece here. And I might, boy, that one looks, ooh, that one looks good. I like that one. Let's grab another glue dot. I'm going to flip it over though. Oh my gosh. Pulled the putty right out. Okay, we won't be using that glue dot. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. So we've got our little bling in the center of that one. And I'm going to use a little bit smaller. Since I ripped out my putty, I'm going to pull that up, advance that a little bit. I'm going to use one of the smaller ones for the smaller flower. Here we go. So I'm going to take this glue dot and I'm going to roll it in half. And then I'm going to actually fold it again to quarter it. And pop that right on there. All right, so we've got our little flowers inside. We've got the little sequin shimmer on them. And then on the front, we just want a bow. So let's use the Baker's twine. I love that this has that bit of sparkle in it. Now with baker's twine, when I'm doing a bow, a single strand is not usually fluffy enough for me. So I fold it in half so that I have 2 strands. And then I tie it in a bow. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. And then I just cut this loop so that I've got my tails. And then I just sort of fuss it a little bit. Is that a word? Fussing it. And then that is going to go right there. So again, we're going to take that glue dot, go back to the take your pick tool, which I still have I have a sequin stuck on the end here. Here we go. I think those sequins would have been pretty on the front with the rhinestone in the middle. And I'm going to fold up that glue dot, make it just a little kind of tiny ball here. Pop it right on the top. And we'll put down our little baker's twine bow there, ribbon. Yeah, I guess it's a bow, right? And there we have our blue version with these fun sending flower dies. And there is the original red version. And I think I need to try our other paper that we were looking at, since so many people voted for that one too, and that was the poppies. And this one I would probably pair it with the rich razzleberry, which is right here. So I'll try and make that up real quick and put that one on my blog when I put up the rest of this information. Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, this bow, I want to flip that around. It seems like I want the tails coming down. Anyone else get kind of anal about stuff like this? I want to fix those tails. There we go. Now they're kind of going down. There we go. So there we have our cards. And again, that's with the Coordination product release, only available while supplies last. And we use the Sending Flowers dies for these cards. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. I'm going to flip the camera so I can say goodbye. Thanks so much for joining me tonight, and be sure to check out my Sue Stampfield group. Would love to have you join that. We'll be doing lots of fun things in the group, and I'll have a lot more information available for you, and you'll get notifications about it. So looking forward to a lot of fun in the group, and have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.